Hello everyone, my name is Alex and you may remember me from such videos as my introductory video or the video where I went and got almond croissants when I was supposed to be working out that morning. I do remember that, I hope you do too. But this is actually going to be a step in the right direction. I must say that this is in reaction to something that I learned about myself recently, and that is that I stepped on the scale recently and discovered that I am the fattest that I've ever been in my life. And I'm all for loving your body and everything, but still I don't love this feeling and I don't love looking this way. So I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to use all the things that I have in my arsenal to drop a few pounds. And the first is cooking. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce this new segment that I like to call CheffyPants. Patent pending. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a salad, and not just any salad. This is a pretty fantastic salad, which is going to have walnuts, it's going to have raspberries, it's going to have some gorgonzola cheese, it's going to have some baby kale as our base greens, and also there's going to be some red onion. What we want to do to start is toast a few walnuts. And that kind of brings out the flavor and kind of makes them feel more alive and toasty, if you will. And now I know this is a rough time for eating salads because nobody likes to eat salads in the winter, although in Wisconsin here we're having a relatively warm end to fall. But we're gonna be working on this salad and I promise you guys are gonna love it, okay? Also, we're gonna be making our own dressing, that's right. CheffyPants kind of knows what he's doing. So the dressing that we're gonna be making is going to be an apricot or apricot, white balsamic dressing. Now that sounds kind of complicated. It's really not complicated to make. We'll have a pretty easy time putting these things together. I just have these few ingredients here. So yeah, we'll get started on this right away. First, what we're gonna do is turn on our handy dandy little burner here. First try, not with movie magic or the magic of television or YouTube or whatever that term is. You guys can let me know about that in the comments section. All right, and I'm just gonna let this heat up. Now, since I'm using cast iron, people do not fear cast iron. It's a beautiful thing. Since I'm using cast iron, it's gonna take a little while to heat up. So I'm just gonna give it a moment and then we will jump right back in, okay? Okay, and we're back. That didn't take much time at all due to the magic of editing. Thank you, future Alex. Now, I have my screaming hot pan here. I sound like Food Busker. I have my screaming hot pan here, and I'm just gonna toss my walnuts in. Now, normally you wanna heat this up and have it on like medium heat or so, especially since cast iron will continue to get hotter if you keep it on the same heat. And I just wanna keep moving these around here and there just to make sure that the walnuts toast. And then we'll just leave them to sit for a little while. And then we're gonna move them again periodically for just a couple of minutes, and that should make it so we get nice evenly toasted walnuts. We don't get too many like charred marks, although charred marks are kind of your friend here. You just don't want black walnuts because that would be bad and it would taste like char. You don't want char in your salad. Unless you do. If you do, I'm not judging you. Okay, after a few short minutes, we have our lovely toasted walnuts. It didn't take long at all, it was about 2 or 3 minutes, and now they're nice and they have a few char marks on them. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They're nicely cooked. I mean, there's a little bit of black, but mostly brown, and still retaining its original color, but there's gonna be a much better crunch here. Yes, toasted nuts are so much better. So when you buy them in the store, buy them raw. Now, I'm just gonna get these transferred into a bowl so that they can cool and I won't have hot nuts in my salad wilting my greens. And then I'll set my pan off to the side here. And we can get started on our next step, which is gonna be making our dressing. It's gonna be our apricot white balsamic vinaigrette. So let me make a little bit of space here and then I will be right back in just a second. All right, so I think I can make a little bit more space for myself right now. I will set my olive oil, my vinegar, and my apricot preserves. This is gonna bug me. Tell me how it's pronounced in the comments. All right, and then also I have my onion, which I'll set off to the side. And we're gonna take a few different things. I'll let you know the ratios here. Also, I have a measuring cup. This is definitely a helpful piece of equipment. Now, I'm gonna make this to last for a little while. I usually recommend keeping it in the fridge for about a week or two, not too long, since you don't have like a ton of preservatives and whatnot. Yeah, it will hang on, but it probably won't be as good as it was like the first week or so that you made it. All right, so what we're gonna do is put 1 part, which I usually will do like a 1/4 cup here, of the white balsamic vinaigrette. Just cap this back really quickly. Next up, we're gonna put 2 parts of the olive oil, or in other words, a 1/2 cup here. And then actually put a dash of salt right over here. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna toss this right into my bowl over here, because this is what we'll be mixing it in. We'll be using this balloon whisk right here and we'll mix it up. Okay, so I'll pour all this in here as well. Oh, okay, now also what we're gonna do is we're gonna add about 1 part of the preserves here. The fruit preserves, we'll just call it fruit for now. Alright, so there we go, that looks like a healthy amount. And then from here, we just kind of break up the preserves and then we begin to whisk. Now, in many cases, when you make a salad dressing, you'll add mustard to it to help it bind together, but I find that when you use jam of some sort or fruit preserves, that kind of binds it itself, so you don't really need to worry about it. And it's coming together very nicely. And just to try this out, I'm going to dunk a leaf here. I actually grabbed 2 leaves. And that's fantastic. So I'm glad that I accidentally got 2 leaves. All right, so here we are. We have our walnuts toasted. We have our salad dressing made. Now, we're pretty much ready for assembly. Oh, okay, I took the lazy chef's way out and I just bought some greens. I'm using baby kale, which I find is much better in like the colder months than just using spinach. I feel like spinach is very bright and delicate, and I feel like these are a little bit more robust and green tasting at the same time. So we're just gonna use these. We'll toss in our raspberries, fresh raspberries that I got, and I rinsed them off. So we'll toss those in here. Don't tell anyone. Okay. Now I'll toss my walnuts in because I feel like they've cooled enough. So I'll toss them here. And I'll toss my gorgonzola cheese in here. Now if you don't love gorgonzola, you can always use feta, you can use Parmesan cheese. I probably wouldn't use Parmesan cheese in this because again, it's kind of a much lighter flavor. Pro tip. Actually, I've never been paid to cook, so amateur's tip. If you're gonna be cutting onions and garlic on a cutting board, it's nice to have a separate cutting board to do that because it's the flavor from the onions and the garlic is gonna kind of seep into the cutting board, and then you won't, and then if you cut like an apple or something, you're still gonna be tasting that onion. And onions and garlic are delicious, but not on my apples. So it's nice to have a separate cutting board. And then when you're gonna clean this cutting board, you can also clean it with lemon and salt. That always works really, really well. But for the time being, I don't need to cut an apple. So I'm just gonna finish peeling off this onion here. I usually just, to save time, take off the outer layer. Seems wasteful, yes I know. And then all these scraps here. Move them away. Now I usually will like to cut these into kind of tiny ribbons here. So I slice it once down the middle and then I just go and slice like so. And I think this is a good amount of onion for the salad that I'm making. Now by the way, I will tell you that my salad game was greatly elevated by one Mr. Jamie Oliver, watching some of his videos, and I learned a lot from there. Also Sarah Lynn from The Domestic Geek is where I got the idea for this type of dressing. So definitely show them some love. If you're not subscribed to their channels, please subscribe to their channels because they're awesome. Okay, and at this point, I'm ready to dress my salad. So I'm just gonna pour this right on over. And that might have been a somewhat liberal amount, but that's okay. Now, a lot of times I'll use a fork or some sort of utensil to mix my salad. However, the best thing to use to mix your salad is your hands. And I remember in the Jamie Oliver video, he was like, "Oh, use your fairy fingers," because he's talking about like going like that, essentially spirit fingers. I do find that it works really, really well, and it helps you get everything well incorporated, and plus you can be gentle with the ingredients that you need to be gentle with. So now at this point we have our awesome salad, and I just want you to take a look at that is a gorgeous salad, and I guarantee you it tastes even better. I'm gonna get 2 plates because I have somebody here that's gonna be eating and enjoying the salad with me. So we just put this right here. And I usually like to make sure that the greens go in, and then I grab a lot of the filler and put that on top. And that just makes for a very nice presentation. Okay. And that's that. So we have our salad with baby kale, raspberries. We have walnuts, onions, and a fancy schmancy vinaigrette dressing that's nice and fruity. But at the same time, it's very good for this time of year. And then also we have gorgonzola cheese, really giving it some heartiness and some creaminess at the same time. It's a very good salad, so I strongly urge you to make this for yourselves, guys. All right, thank you very much. CheffyPants out.